So, Microsoft has said that the differences between the PS4 and the Xbox One is pretty minor. Yeah, right. Give me a break. But before we get to this video, here's the question of the day. Alright, so basically, there's a big deal regarding the Xbone and the whole 1080p thing, and some games aren't, like, native to that, and it's like, the 60 frames per second, the highest specs that you can reach on a console right now, and maybe the Xbox One is not up to it at the moment. Certain games are not native, they don't run using the full specs compared to the PS4 in particular. This is what Albert Pinello said. And he said that it's pretty minor. He said that, look, I've had a lot of time to think about this. I believe that the differences between the two is not that great. I know what's going behind the scenes, and I have access to more information about some of this than a lot of people. I think people tend to neglect the points that are in my favor, and they like to highlight the points that tell me I am wrong. I still think Rise is still the best looking game on any platform. Period. End of story. Wow. And they also mentioned, well, they brought up, like, the Tomb Raider Definitive Edition will be 60 frames per second on PS4, but the Xbox One, they haven't said anything yet. It's kind of weird. Is it going to be 60 FPS? Is it going to be a 30 FPS? So, like, slower frame rate, or less frame rate, I should say. Pinello continues, I think if you look at the titles that we launched that were multiplats, many of them were the same resolution and frame rate. There were 12 titles released on both systems, but 3 of them had basically the same performance. Oh, all but 3 of them. All except for 3 were the same performances. I see. So, I mean, he's really just trying to defend the Xbox One. He's like, oh, it's going to be an awesome generation of games. It's only going to get better. And an awesome gen of experiences. These little things get way overblown compared to the quality of the games and the real differences, which are pretty minor. Very interesting. But, regarding to the 1080p 60 frames per second thing, he's talking about how there's a movie theater. It's like, we're the movie theater that has all the blockbuster films and has the most screens, and then somebody has figured that there's also another movie theater that has less screens, but like if you look at this one movie, sometimes it looks better on their screen. In our movie theater, sure, sometimes some of our movies look better. Okay, this fucking idiot's just rambling. I'm getting sick of this. It's just nothing but excuses. Sony has really emphasized the 1080p thing. Shohei Yoshida, for example, said that having a native of 1080p allows you to be a better gamer. I remember that fucking story. Oh, that's the benefit. Yeah, but this story got like 1,000+ comments so far. That's really strange right now. I don't know, man. I mean, it's hard to kind of like find proper feedback, regarding what people want to say about this, because it's very what do you call it? Like mark bait, troll bait type stuff. It's very fucking people just making fun of everybody else. People just gives excuses for people to be dicks on the fucking forums and talk shit. Yeah, like spammers, yeah. There's a lot of idiots spamming the fucking comment section of this particular article. But it's interesting, he said Rise was the best looking game. I mean, I don't even believe in that. It might be a pretty good looking game, but Jesus Christ, Rise? Rise is the best looking game? Are you fucking kidding me? I mean, first of all, it's not a game. It's an interactive fucking, like, cutscene heavy, like, movie type. Like, it's barely a game. And it might look good, but I mean, come on, it's the best looking game. I don't think so. I really gotta argue against that. Especially, you know, being an early game like that. I mean, imagine what Rise is gonna look like, you know, 6 or 7 years down the road. I mean, these early titles are just... they're gonna be dated. You know, a lot of these fucking Rise is more like a demo, really. I will say this. I think the PS4 ultimately has the advantage. It's the more powerful system, it's faster, it's just got better hardware, it's superior in terms of spec-wise and technically. So, let's see how well these little multiplats, not even multiplats, but like the best of each system, compare against each other 2 or 3 years down the road. You know, when they really started to take advantage of the PS4's power compared to the Xbox One. And I mean, it's just pathetic, you know what I mean? It's just like Microsoft is trying everything they can to get an argument and to like fucking try to make themselves look just as good as the PS4, even better, you know? It's like, hey, it's not that big of a difference, you know? It's really not that big. We're just as good as them, if not better. And here's the answer to the question of the day.